So here I am in deepest West Somerset. It's not far from Minehead and Dunster in West Somerset. And this is called the Tall Trees Trail. I said it, Tall Trees Trail. I kept rehearsing that just now, I couldn't see it. I was saying Tall Trail. So we go down this path now and try and find some tall trees. So already, some really tall trees. And there is a lot of black cloud around, so I hope it doesn't rain, because this camera is not waterproof. Nice fresh air, lovely. There's paths all over this wood, so that's good. There are signs which help with the way. Yeah, there are a lot of really big trees in this forest. It's amazing. I don't know where the tallest one in England is. It should be clearly marked, I would imagine. You see the scale of some of these trees. Look at this one. Can't even give it a hug. I don't think this is the biggest one, but this is a big tree, isn't it? And this is it. Douglas Fir, over 60 metres high. I didn't bring a tape measure, so I don't know if it's true or not. You can't see the top from here actually, but he's a beauty, isn't he? Let's give him a big hug, shall I? From me. This is huge. Now, the largest in the world is apparently over 80 metres tall in the USA. So this isn't doing bad. Now, this was last measured in 2009. It's now 2024, so it could be an extra couple of metres. We don't know, do we? Air. Trees use CO2 from the air to make sugars for their growth and return clean oxygen for animals to breathe. That's us. This is one of those walks where you're just constantly looking up. See all the tall trees. So that was the Tall Trees Trail. From here, I'm heading, going to be a few ups and downs through woods, and there's lots of a maze of paths going everywhere, so I've got to be careful with my navigation. I don't want to get stuck. And in a deep valley, somewhere on the other side of that hill, is a long abandoned village called Clicket. What an unusual name that is. So I've watched a few YouTube videos of other people going to this walk, and it's all overgrown ruins basically left now. But I thought it'd be quite interesting just to have a little look. I'm by Broadwood Farm now, and raining. Oh, path's disappeared. Right. Oh, that was a hard trek up there. I couldn't feel any of that because it was so steep. And that was difficult. So, I haven't got a clue what the terrain's going to be like, but it's been raining on and off. So it's quite difficult. I don't really want to slip. These rain showers have made it a bit humid now. So I'm just about to go inside the forest now. I've got a massive hill, I think it's called Cromer's Hill. I've got to get to the other side of that, so I've still got a fair bit of walking to do yet. Nice little bit of woods now. Got a long way to go yet. Just stopping to have a breather because I'm sweating buckets. It's quite humid now, and it's still spotting the rain now actually. I've just noticed, I'm walking forward, I'm not even noticing the view behind me. I just stopped to look round and I can see right across the Bristol Channel. And just make out parts of Wales in the distance. And you can see the islands of Steepholm and Flatholm. What a fantastic view down there. And this is the Brendon Hills. Between the Quantock Hills and Exmoor. So it tends to get forgotten about a bit. How narrow these little country lanes are. Just hope I don't meet any cars. So in a minute should be taking a left-hand turn off this little country lane down to a deep valley where the abandoned village is. That's a sunken lane, isn't it? Hello. No, I got no food for you. Sorry. Oh dear, this is quite a overgrown muddy path. But this is it, I've got no choice. don't think it'll ever be on a path like this. It looked like a stream, but looking at it now, it does look like it's an ancient sunken track by the looks of it. It's amazing. Very green. And this should take us down to the village, or the abandoned village of Clicket. Wow, what a place. I'm beginning to see now why this village that we're coming to was left abandoned, because it's miles away. I've been walking for hours and still haven't come across the village yet. Quite overgrown in places now. Just hope there aren't no bits that's impossible to get through. Quite muddy in places, so it's not an easy walk, this one. How strange. Right in the middle of nowhere. Even if I don't find the lost village, it's worth it just for this lovely nature walk in the woods. Really nice. And I haven't seen a single person today. Well, not since the giant trees in back in Nutcoombe. I can't see a path on this bit, so a bit of guesswork involved here. But according to my GPS, there's a path through here somewhere, so I just hope I'm not going to come against the fence and have to backtrack. How much further have I got to go to get to this village? Let's see if I can find some old ruined buildings now. Oh, I hope this is worth it. As I am knackered, I've been walking for 11 hours. And of course missing the village and walking past it didn't help. But there's something here. So there's a warning from the landowner that this is private property and stay on the footpath. I'm not allowed to get over the barbed wire fence. Right, so anything else? So I did read something online which says the best time to visit the village is in the winter, because in the summer it's very overgrown and it's so easy to miss things. And there's a couple of walls here, must have been a house or something, well overgrown. So I'll tell you a bit about the village here. So it had a mill, a bakery, a limestone quarry and a farm, which meant that those living in Clicket could be fully self-sufficient. Life was far from ideal though, as there were no churches, shops or a school, so the children had to walk 3 miles to the nearest school within the nearby village of Nutcoombe. Access was also difficult along the narrow track, so the mill workers had to use donkeys to get goods in and out of the village. One of the biggest reasons why this area was depopulated was the repeal of the Corn Laws in 1846. And it allowed mass importation of cheap grain from the USA and Canada, so the UK market just couldn't compete. So the name Clicket is very unusual and no one is sure of its origins. But at the start of the 20th century, just 3 people were still living in the village. This is probably the last picture of the residents of the village taken from around 1890. That was the village of Clicket then. To be honest, I expected to see more, unless that some of the buildings are so overgrown that I've completely missed them. I'm a bit annoyed that I managed to miss it. I was literally on a slightly higher path and just missed it and had to do that half mile back. So rather than go back down the valley, I'm walking up this steep hill here, which will take me back to a little minor road. And then from there it's, I don't know how far back to my car. And I almost walked past that building. So overgrown, some of these buildings, that you can miss them easily. But what an isolated place for a village. And through the trees, I can just make out Nutcoombe Beacon and Robin and Joni Howe, which is the two lower hills to the right. Primitive path. Look at that. Where should you go? That way. So I've come out of that valley where the little forgotten village was. I think I've got about, I don't know, a mile and a half, 2 miles back to the car along this little country lane. So I've got some cracking views on the way back there. Of course, looking across the Duncree and Borlock Hill. Well, I'm nearly back to the car and my legs and my feet are aching now. That was quite a hefty walk. It's worked out 14 miles according to my electronic GPS. So what did I think of the walk then? Well, the trees were great. It wasn't far from the car and we did get to see the biggest tree in the UK, which is great, it's 60 metres. As for the village, well, I did do a bit of a roundabout walk to get to that village. Went round, I think it was Cromer's Hill, a massive semicircle or 3/4 of a circle to get round it. And then when I found the village, well, I went past the village first and had to backtrack half a mile, so that added an extra mile onto the journey. And there wasn't as many buildings there as I thought I would find. Maybe I missed some of them, I don't know, but they were quite overgrown. Anyway, back to the car now, I'm gonna have a drink and something to eat, and I'll see you again next time, guys.